Boscombe ground naturally drew them in from far and wide. In fact, some 23,000 turned up to see what the local team could do to the cup holders. Bournemouth went off at a smart pace and soon had West Brom in striped shirts on the defensive. Godwin in goal had his work cut out, and he just managed to save rather an ugly situation. There was no score in the first half. West Bromwich Albion kept up very strong pressure, feeling they simply must overcome this early obstacle on the road to Wembley, and in the 60th minute, Stuart Williams scored. This proved to be the only goal of the match, but gallant Bournemouth never gave up trying. There were moments when they might perhaps have equalised, but it was not to be.
On the lookout for forgery. The crowd was in a state of when Spurs in white shirts, Bournemouth and Boscombe Athletic Football Club, the Cherries to you, now intend way to do it. Time Medwin nipped through and made it 1-1. We've got the answer to that one, and so they had. Newsham put them ahead again. Yes, it was something to trumpet about. But Bournemouth hadn't finished yet. When Stiffle netted, it was 3-1 for the Cherries. Spurs, I presume. Never before all the way.
Bournemouth supporters were in Spurs met Manchester, and United kicked off. Early on came an attack by Bournemouth, but it was safely struck Manchester when Jones, their centre-half, was injured. And here from a corner is the first goal, headed by Bedford. Bournemouth won, Manchester was still a goal to the bad at the interval, but 15 minutes after the restart they equalised through Berry. Berry shot, and Lyons handled it in the penalty area. Manchester 2, Bournemouth 1. Team that played great football.
After Keith Williams had delivered the first blow to the non-league side 10 minutes before half-time. The second from a penalty with Bill Rafferty brought down by goalkeeper Dave Mallet. Robbie Savage from the spot, 2-0. 17 minutes from time, though, Dartford's substitute, Mickey Dingwall, scrambled in a goal that made Bournemouth stumble. But the third division side didn't fall and recovered to score twice in the last 5 minutes. Colin Russell with this clever run to make it 3-1. And then the 33-year-old Rafferty, who's with his 8th league club, made sure that Bournemouth will renew their FA Cup rivalry with Manchester United, this time at Old Trafford.
In the early stages, Bournemouth looked capable of producing another cup shock. Gary Howlett, who once had a trial with United, forced Gary Bailey into action. By the 22nd minute, though, United were in full control. Gordon Strachan, making his FA Cup debut, scored after a neat 1-2 with Frank Stapleton. A corner from Arnold Muren gave Gordon McQueen the chance to head home United's second just before half-time. Stapleton deservedly made it 3-0 13 minutes into the second half, and United are left hoping that history repeats itself. The last time they beat Bournemouth at Old Trafford, they went all the way to Wembley.
It's a wonderful finish. O'Connor for Bournemouth. Aylot's made a good run inside, and here comes Cook. And Aylot, and then equalised. Bishop. Oh, Cook's away again. Lissett's in the middle. Blissett! Oh! The goal was gaping, and the headlines were waiting to be written.
Expected there'll be thousands more, many of them travelling down without tickets for a match that is a sellout, and many of them determined to get into the ground one way or the other.
Fans tried to get inside Bournemouth's ground without tickets. They clashed with police in riot gear who made a total of 120 arrests. Many of the fans had ignored warnings from the police and the club not to travel to the ground without tickets. The violence has jeopardised the chances of English clubs returning to European competition next season. But officials at Ellen Road say the Football League should have looked more closely at the timing of the fixture.
The police were against the idea some weeks ago,
allowing the fixture to be played against police advice.
For Dorset Police, the weekend's violence was the worst seen in the county for decades. The cost of the policing operation was at least £100,000, all unnecessary according to Dorset's Chief Constable, who had advised the Football League to change the fixture.
We're on trial from the moment our fans start travelling to Italy to the moment the last one gets back to this country.
Mr Moynihan travels to Italy today to assess preparations there. The weekend violence in Bournemouth will have increased fears.
Veto foot in order to try to prevent a repetition. There's been the strongest possible insistence today that the police should have the power of veto over fixtures they consider likely to cause public disorder.
I've asked them on many occasions.
There's also disagreement between the two clubs involved about who should pay for the damage. Bournemouth say it must be Leeds. Leeds say they aren't responsible, that they tried everything within their power to prevent violence. Meanwhile, 25 Leeds followers were in court today. They were either remanded on one isolated incident, then English clubs will never get back in. And there's a demand for more even-handedness from UEFA. Other European countries have hooligan problems, but none have England's blanket ban, which tonight looks like remaining for at least another year.
Have been better timed. A neat header on the back post put the Borough ahead on aggregate. But here's the equaliser, a perfect example of brilliance and blundering in a matter of seconds. Stephen Pears tips Jimmy Quinn's header wide, but skipper Mowbray makes a rare mistake in not finding touch. When it's whipped back across, Quinn takes out two defenders and slots it through the keeper's legs. That's 1-1 on the night and 2-2 on aggregate. That meant extra time and a double substitution. Bernie Slaven and Jamie Pollock came on, and it was Pollock who threaded the ball through to Hendry. He's tripped in the box, and there's no doubting that it's a penalty. The awesome responsibility of taking the kick with just 2 minutes of extra time left fell to full-back Gary Parkinson. That blockbuster put the Borough into the third-round draw, but Hendry reckons they should have made it easier on the fans.
If we had maintained the first half.
Bournemouth are also cruising along in mid-table, although they went a goal behind after only 7 minutes at Shrewsbury. Ian Stevens, the scorer. If at first you don't succeed, well, Bournemouth's Matt Holland knows the old motto well, and he used it to good effect to score their equaliser. And Holland, signed last season from West Ham, profited from another fortunate rebound, and his accuracy gave Mel Machin's team a 2-1 win.
Bournemouth's Neil Young was given the freedom of Dean Court by charitable Burnley opposition, allowed 5 touches in setting up a goal for Krista Warren, poached right under the nose of keeper Paul Crichton. It had taken 55 minutes for the breakthrough, but Burnley's fall from grace continued with Steve Robinson's penalty conversion 10 minutes later. Burnley have only ever won once on this ground, and Robinson was revelling in the space he found to make it 3-0. Within another 5 minutes it was 4. Burnley, whose world caved in at Darlington in midweek when they were stunned by 3 late goals in the FA Cup, gave evidence of shell shock again, sitting back as Mark Steen went through to score as he pleased. That was goal number 15 of the former Chelsea man's season. He didn't have long to wait for number 16. Substitute Rodriguez teed him up, and Steen rounded off a week Burnley will readily want to forget.
Them then. And the lower tiers of the Millennium Stadium have been taken over by supporters of these two clubs. It's the short walk out for the third division playoff finalists, Bournemouth and Lincoln. And it's gone right into Fletcher, who's got the equaliser. Big 6'7". Oh, free header. Carl Fletcher has put Bournemouth to the right. There's nothing in the middle. Purches is battling to get there. And has Purches. Goal! Could that be the goal?
as they were a year ago. But all will be okay. I move on each and every day. The past is where it stays. Way back a year ago. I've changed for the better this time. I thought I would never be fine. I strive just to say I'm alright. And for the first time in a long time I'm alright.
Football, but the highs, it was just an amazing thing.
That was a great day, and that was a real talented squad that was, and as I say, it was a privilege to be part of it.
I remember celebrating in the middle of the pitch, jumping up and down. It's just the whole emotion was just was so good.
With that result, celebrations afterwards, and the manner in which we did it as well. We really did play the most of that.
Callum Fletcher lifts the playoff final trophy in a year when he's been made team captain.
Going back, I'm not falling. I'll push all my chips and call all in. I'll bet on myself, you keep stalling. I hear destiny and it's calling. I'll keep my head up high through the downs and lows, and we're all going live. Still nobody knows, but I'ma choose what's right and take what comes and goes. And ain't no one in life holding me back no more. I've seen a lot of change, been through a lot of pain. Some things are not the same as they were a year ago.
And Bournemouth do have a fourth, and it's substitute James Hayter. Third minute, 1-0, then Hayter again, chance for a fifth, James Hayter, it's 5! 15 calls on its fifth, absolutely nowhere is the answer. 3-1 for Hayter, everybody looks at the linesman, no plan for Nielsen, and now it's 3-on-2, and it's coming through the middle, recovery challenge for Edward, he's onside, Hayter is there! It's absolutely unbelievable! James Hayter, 3 goals in 3 minutes for James Hayter, and if that's not a
being caught was a sellout for a game with so much at stake. The winners would be certain of retaining their league status, the fate of the losers would hang in the balance. Nathan Jarman gave Grimsby the lead, but that was as good as it got for them. They were down to 10 men when Danny Boschel was the first of 2 Grimsby players sent off. He'd later be followed by Joe Widdowson. Bournemouth sensed a huge chance to rescue the match. Danny Hollins did the hard work for the equaliser, and when his shot hit the crossbar, Liam Feeney turned in the rebound. Bournemouth had seemed doomed to the drop for several months, so no wonder there were huge celebrations when the evergreen Steve Fletcher scored the winner to ensure their survival. As for Grimsby, well, their immediate future depended on events at Aldershot.
And AFC Bournemouth. The sides are locked at 1-1 after Saturday's first. Gary Roberts with the corner, and this time it's in. Huddersfield take the lead through Lee Peltier. Good play between Feeney and Smith. Or did he get the ball? Double. Just 1 goal this season. He smashes it in. Good play from Huddersfield. Wood with the shot on the turn, what a goal! Chance for handball, nothing doing. Chance for Bournemouth, great touch, and squeezed into the net. Ward, great touch, gone for goal. Janelle holds on. His fellow substitute Pugh. Oh, and the header is into the net from Ings. Robert swings it over, it's headed into the net. This is extraordinary. He took ball first, but he also took man. It's a red. 1-0. And he scores as well, right? Save! Another excellent for Bournemouth. Oh, and he hits the bar in Kilban. And he scores as... And it does. just about in, and Huddersfield.
Chairman Eddie Mitchell said his wife persuaded him to give Eddie Howe a second bite at the Cherries. Whoever's idea it was, it's certainly given Bournemouth a lift. Lewis Grabban was credited with the opening goal in their first win in 7 matches. 2 minutes later, Orient's Nathan Clark showed Mark Pugh too much of the ball. The midfielder was signed by Howe back in 2010. Pugh will have enjoyed reminding the gaffer what he can do. That ensured a first home win of the season, an ideal way for the manager to pick up where he left off.
Brett Pittman finding his way through the Birmingham defence. It was too easy there for Pittman, and 5 minutes later, straight red card for a professional foul on the shirt of the player. Straight red card. He wasn't happy. He played in Callum Wilson. Himself 5 minutes before half-time. He made it 3-0 at the break. Well, they went further ahead on 63 minutes. Simon Francis finding Mark Pugh to volley past Rambo. A good header as well. Scored the penalty. 6-0. And Bournemouth winning that one 8-0.
A weight off the shoulders of Brendan. Finding the gap for Lallana has got Sterling moving up ahead. And Sterling has rediscovered his goal-scoring touch with some style. And
Bournemouth to get from back to front.
And they down the centre and beats the goalkeeper to it to give Liverpool the lead. Henderson hits it in early for Origi. Goalkeeper's got to win this race, and he hasn't. What a finish that is! Who of course scored from the spot a week ago against Arsenal.
He went left on that occasion, to his left.
Bournemouth are back in it. Lucky to get it back there, but he's making the most of that run. Chan with the shot. Oh, what a shot it was! Liverpool restore their 2-goal advantage thanks to Emmerich. Here's Fraser. That's a good ball too. Chance here, and Afobe missed it. Fraser behind him, didn't. She wins it back. And find Fraser again. Good cross by him. And they've got an equaliser. It's Cook who scores it. It's 3-3. Well, a week ago. We know where this is going, don't we? Oh, didn't think it was going to be there. Bournemouth have snatched it right at
the winner. What a match we've had here.
Oh, it does. Results of the season.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear, that my mind fills up into a creature, and it haunts me somewhere much deeper.
Anxiety, filling up every space, no privacy. And silently stay sober, looking over all their shoulders, like moving boulders just to get out of the home. It sucks, I've had enough, I don't wanna feel the stuck under the rug, all my problems that are a shove. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear. I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear. That my mind fills in somewhere much deeper. I've been feeling weird, I can't seem to focus good enough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really, really tough. Nothing's really clear, sometimes it could be a little tough. I just need to feel like the end's in sight for me, but let's be really, real. Anxiety can foggy all this stuff. It sucks, where I sleep don't give a fuck, can't stop, unplug.
The change sees Callum Wilson leading the Bournemouth attack in place of Benik Afobe. Scorer of the most talked about goal in football at the moment, Olivier Giroud.
And it's creating space for Daniels as well. And here is Charlie Daniels, 1-0 at Bournemouth. This to double the lead. Same place, same result. All in. It's Arter. Deflected it by Wilson. But did he...
Sanchez or Iwobi. And closer look at the handball of Callum Wilson. It's
his hand. Yes, he did. It does that. Bayerin is quick, but not quick enough or strong enough. Fraser, 3-0.
From Daniels and Bellerin's favourites.
Giroud, Sanchez. Arsenal have one back with...
And no shot who it is that...
Xhaka, Giroud, Lucas Perez, 3-2. The comeback is on for us. They've got the equaliser. And they still...
Well, Eddie Howe was urging his team out of the box, but they don't do it quick enough. Cook was very deep.
Forward with danger. Bayerin's now inside the penalty area, and Bayerin is not denied by Begovic. It bounces in. It's Liza, but realising it might leave them exposed. Fraser's ball in. Oh, Wilson's got there ahead of Czech, and Bournemouth have an equaliser. Callum Wilson. It's Bournemouth 1, Arsenal 1. Now Lewis Cook. Well, that might be a brilliant ball. It is. It's Callum Wilson. It's laid off for Ive. Jordan Ive scores his first Bournemouth goal. But it's a historic win for Bournemouth for the first table, away from that relegation zone. Wilson.
Still the Cherries keep it on. Daniels! Oh, my! Joshua King 20 yards out. Ive to his left. King won't need them. And Joshua King... Then to pull it back to Stanislas, it's behind him, looks to set somebody else. Servant tries to brace it, and Andrew Servant does. Can the Cherries turn their territory into something on the score sheet? Adam Smith, he has! Junior Stanislas is trusted with the free kick, and yes, it is going to.
To Brooks, flag stays down, chance for King! And Bournemouth
Attack in the first half, this is sustained pressure,
And King looks for Brooks, the flag stays down, it's still Brooks! Brilliant! 2-0 to Bournemouth! Chelsea are in real trouble here. It's gone short from, here goes Stanislas, and King! It's 3-0 to... Daniels! Oh, would you believe?
Well, it's been a second half capitulation. Faced by Mount, Ramsdale kept himself big and kept the score at 0-0. Rico's corner, in towards Mepham, right across the 6-yard box and volley clear from Azpilicueta, back in from Lerma, and the flag stays down, it goes up in the end as Gosling is cleared off the line anyway, but the flag's already up. Well, if he was, and has the ball gone over the line?
No,
it definitely
all right.
Gone over the line. What's great? VAR!
Kelly to win it back, and now Spence driving forward, and he's threaded it in behind, and here's Sam Surridge left-footed, hits the bar, across goal into the side netting. From the set play, Billing, left-footed, it's a cheeky one, square, and smashed in!
On the sub, and he could win his promotion. Down there.
He blows the whistle high once again in the Premier League. 2 years.
Absolutely amazing. The pitch completely
Made their way down the tunnel. It's all very friendly.
moment. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside, when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me.
Where it goes! Daviton, it's still Wilson, it's 2-0. Just steered over the line by Wilson.
Play forward, and it's Wilson. It's his second.
That's an awful kick from the goalkeeper, and surely Bournemouth will double. Callum Wilson here. Wilson, it's in. The goalkeeper. This could be interesting. Smith, Wilson. Oh, wonderful pass, and it's 2-2. For Wilson, 3-0, and he scores it. Tomlin, Daniels once again. Great there, and so too. What about that? Pass one, pass two, brilliant goal! Callum Wilson, who was denied a second ago!
Fraser. Son is a man in form. And the form continues.
Where it goes! Callum in form!